In my classroom here at Davis Elementary School, I have a lot of immigrant students. It's a high poverty school, about 94% free and reduced lunch. There are 14 different languages represented. Some of my students came from refugee camps this year, a few of them with no or very limited schooling in the past. They're expected to pass the Math Oaks test right away. They are expected to pass the Oaks reading test right away. And furthermore, the students in my school, since it's a priority school, after winning awards from the state for 3 years for its rising scores and its success, now it's a priority school, which means it's under the microscope and has to show a lot of growth. But the growth is being measured solely by the state standardized tests in reading and math. And those tests, 6 points is considered about a year's growth. Of course, there's a wide margin of error because the standard deviation of a test like that, a multiple choice test. But the ridiculous thing is, most of the students who scored low last year have to show 3 years of growth to meet their growth target as defined by the state. Now, isn't that a bit like having children that are short say, oh, you need to grow 3 times as fast as everybody else to catch up? And instead of really supporting us with smaller class sizes, with additional resources, we don't even have a second computer lab for when the standardized tests are being given. It's off limits for teaching for months while the kids test. And even the kids at the top are being disadvantaged. I pushed to have several kids identified for tag because I saw their ability. I knew they could learn. I knew the reason a couple of them didn't pass it before was because they just hadn't been taught the concepts. And sure enough, they qualified. So I have one that scored very high. She exceeded last year. And she's exceeding this year, and she gained more points. But according to the state growth model, she hasn't grown because it has to be a certain number of points. We are reducing kids to numbers that don't make sense because of the way they've been configured. And more legislators need to become aware of how this works. They need to become aware that it's very inequitable. They need to become aware that it's based on a test that teachers are not allowed to look at. Therefore, it cannot guide our instruction because we really don't know what students have missed and what they've gotten right. The whole system has become a travesty of justice and needs to change.